am Dishi and today I have brought class 10 chapter 1st of chemistry, chemical reactions and equations. So chemical reactions, what are reactions and what are the chemical equations? So let us first discuss about the chemical reactions. So as the name is suggesting, some reactions are taking place and chemically the properties are totally changed. So the process in which new substances with new properties are formed, that is called chemical reaction. Means process, and it is a process. Chemical reaction is a process in which new substances are formed, new substances with new properties, are formed, and that are known as chemical reactions. So let us take an example of it. If we take an example of making of curd from the milk, so you can see the process. New substance, what is the new substance? That is curd. And new properties, because curd is having the sour taste and milk is having something sweet taste, so that is why new properties are formed and new substance is formed, absolutely different. Making of taking out the butter from curd, so that's why the totally new substances and new properties are formed, so they are known as chemical reactions. And if we have a look on this example, suppose that we have magnesium. So magnesium is a metal, and when it reacts with oxygen, so magnesium oxide is formed. So this is an example, magnesium plus oxygen, that gives magnesium oxide. So magnesium is a different thing, oxygen is a different thing, and when they together mix up, they form different substance. It have new substance. Magnesium oxide is a new substance and new properties. The properties are not totally gas, because oxygen is a gas and not magnesium oxide is not a gas, and neither it is a metal. So new properties and new substances are formed. So the reactants which the substances which take part in the reaction, they are known as reactants, and the substance which is formed after the reaction, that is called product. The substance which is formed which takes part in the reaction is known as reactants, and the substance which is formed after the reaction, they are known as product. You can also learn this from an easy tips for example product. So in the factories, when products are ready to sell, then we call them product. But before the making of the product, they are the raw materials, and these raw materials are known as reactants. So reactants are the substances which are taking part in the reaction, and the formation of new substance with new properties, that is known as product. So this is the chemical reaction. Now we will see what are the changes, what are the observations we observe during the change in the chemical reaction, while changing in the new properties, new substances. So what happens then? As we know, the formation of curd from the milk, the formation of ripening of fruits, and there are so many examples such as digestion, respiration, transpiration, and such a biological processes such as digestion of food, and there are many processes which are chemical reactions. So we know very much of them. So now we'll learn about the characteristics of chemical reaction. What are the characteristics? What happens during a chemical reaction? So evolution of gas. Some gases are evaluated, means they are released from the chemical reaction. Formation of precipitate. Something will be left at the bottom, or something will be left in the flask, so that is the precipitate. Now change in color. Some reaction shows change in color, some reaction shows change in temperature and change in state. So these are the 5 characteristics of the chemical reaction. So now let us give an example of each of them. So evolution of gas. Firstly, let us see this. So if we take the zinc granules and if we add it to the um, dilute sulfuric acid, then what happens? The evolution of hydrogen gas we can observe from there. So hydrogen gas will be released from that reaction. So we can say that evolution of gas is taking place in this reaction. Now formation of precipitates. Some things are precipitated outside the flask or inside, means on the walls of the flask or any vessel that you have taken. So precipitates are formed. And change in color. If we add we have an example of lead. And so if we take the potassium permanganate and if we take potassium permanganate and if we add citric acid, then what happens? The purple colored potassium permanganate change into colorless when they both are added to each other, citric acid and the potassium permanganate purple color. So when they are reacting with each other, then it forms colorless solution. So this is the change in color. Now change in temperature we can also observe if you have quicklime at home. So when you add that into the water, then what happens? Bubbles started to come out. So it is evolution of gas and also change in temperature. You can feel heat when you touch that object. So change in temperature and change in state. So if we burn a candle, so it forms wax. So solid something liquid type wax. So when it is heated, then and evolution of gas is also happening. Carbon dioxide is also releasing. So change in state means solid is changed into liquid and evolution of gas, carbon dioxide gas is happening. So these are the characteristics of chemical reactions. Now we will learn what are chemical equations. Representing chemical reactions with symbols and formulae of their substance is known as chemical equation. So chemical equations is the representation of uh, chemical reactions. So if we have a look on the example of magnesium and oxygen. So when magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. So this one is the word equation because all are the words magnesium, oxygen, magnesium oxide. So if we have the what is the symbol for magnesium, that is Mg. So we will write instead of magnesium's full spelling we will write only Mg and plus what is the symbol for oxygen? O, and magnesium oxide, that is MgO. So here always the gases are always found in the diatomic form. So we will write O2. So representing chemical reactions. This is the reaction, chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulae. These are symbols and this is the formula. So this is the chemical equation and this is the word equation. This is chemical equation and this is word equation. Words means all are the spellings, full spellings. But when we will write the only symbols and the formulas, then it is known as chemical reaction because all the substances are same but they are represented by the short time. Now what is the need for writing this in the short? Because it saves times very much and it doesn't need so much of space, so much of time to write. So it's very easy to learn also. And every time we don't need to write this full spelling, we have to just write this symbols. And when we will write these symbols, then we can complete our equation. So we can write, this is the symbolic representation. It is also known as symbolic representation or the chemical equation, because all are the metals, non-metals, or whatever the formulas are formed, so they are known as chemical equations. One more thing to learn is that magnesium and oxygen, when both are heated, when magnesium is heated, then it reacts with oxygen and it gives magnesium oxide. So before the magnesium, because magnesium reacts with atmospheric oxygen, so if you take a magnesium ribbon and if you try to heat it, it will not burn, because magnesium always burns with dazzling white light. It gives a very white light, bright white light. So magnesium is already combined with the atmospheric oxygen. So that is why we use sandpaper to rub it. And when oxygen is removed from the surface of magnesium, then we start heating up the magnesium ribbon and it reacts with oxygen and it forms magnesium oxide. So one question is always deriving from this: why magnesium ribbon is burned before burning? So to remove the oxide layer from the magnesium metal or magnesium ribbon. So then it will react with oxygen and it will form magnesium oxide. So here are some more examples. Let us see first one. The zinc plus H2SO4. Now it gives ZnSO4 plus H2. This is a chemical equation. Zn means zinc and H2SO4 means hydrogen sulfide, and ZnSO4 means zinc sulfate plus H2 hydrogen gas. Now H2 plus O2. H2 means hydrogen and this is oxygen and it gives H2O means water. Now CaOH whole twice. Now this plus CO2. CO2 is carbon dioxide and CaOH whole twice is lime and limestone, and CaCO3. This is calcium carbonate and this is water H2O. Now CaOH whole twice. This is also known as calcium uh, hydroxide. Now CH4 plus O2. CH4 means methane and O2 means oxygen and CO2 means carbon dioxide, H2O means water. Now this one is the longer one, such a long. Now 6 CO2 means CO2 carbon dioxide molecules are 6 and 6 H2O, 6 water molecules are present. Now C6H12O6, this is the formula for glucose, and 6O2 means there are 6 atoms for oxygen. So these are some chemical equations. Now in these chemical equations, let us see which are balanced ones and which are unbalanced ones. So let us first discuss what is the balanced equation. So balanced equation is the equation in which reactants means the substances which are taking part in the reaction and the products which are formed after reaction, both are equal. Both are in the same fraction or same composition, same ratio, same proportion. So we can say them, they are the balanced equations. So Zn, zinc is 1 here. Now how many zinc are here? It is 1 also. So now H2 means hydrogen are 2. There are 2 atoms for hydrogen. So here also there are 2 atoms. Now S means sulfur. Sulfur is 1 here also and here also. O4 means oxygen are 4 and oxygen are 4. So this equation is balanced one. This is the balanced equation. Means all the reactants and products are equally balanced. The same number of substances is here and same number of substances is here are also same. Now H2 plus O2. H2 and H2, but O2 means oxygen have 2, and here oxygen is also 1. So here we have to balance it. So this is an unbalanced equation because hydrogen is balanced but oxygen is not balanced. Here oxygen are 2 and here oxygen is 1. Now CaOH. So this is the unbalanced one. This is unbalanced equation. Now Ca is 1 here. Now Ca is 1 here also. In the reactant side O are 2 because whole twice shows that these 2 are here and this 2 is also on the hydrogen and oxygen both on the, because whole if we take an example from the mathematics, we will solve we have to solve the problems under we have to such as if we have equations and we have to square them. So what we will just write it down under the brackets, we take the whole square. So whole square means there are also, this is not square because it is in a subscription, so that is why this 2 is here also and this 2 is here also. So this what happens in this situation. So oxygen is 2 here and oxygen is 1 and O3 means here 4. So and here 2 and 2 they are 4. So they are balanced. They are balanced oxygen. Now hydrogen are 2 here and hydrogen are 2 here. Balanced. And carbon is 1 here and 1 also here. So this is the balanced equation because all the reactant side and product sides are equal in number. Now here carbon is 1. Now here carbon is 1. So it is seeming to be balanced, but let's see what happened. Now hydrogen is 4. Here hydrogen is 2. Here hydrogen balance is here hydrogen is unbalanced. Now oxygen is 2 here. Oxygen is 2 and 1, 3. So this is an unbalanced equation. So you can understand how we can separate the balanced equation and unbalanced equation, because if we take an example of this long equation, such a long equation, so 6 means this 6, when we take it out, when the number, any numerical value is put down in the prefix of the equation of the yes it is, so compound. So before that compound or before that element, then this 6 is representing 6 is only carbon, not the oxygen. So 6 is carbon and 6 is oxygen also, because 6 2s are 12. Now oxygen is 2 here. Try to understand it. When we have one number here and one number here, then these both numbers are multiplied with each other, and that number we have to add that same number here also. So 6 2s are 12. 6 2s are 12. So oxygen is 12 here, and now here oxygen is 6 because 6 2s are 12, hydrogen is 12, and 6 means oxygen is also 6. So 6 and 12 and 6. When we add 12 and 6, then we got 18. And let's see how many oxygen are here. Now here oxygen is 6 and here 6 2s are 12. So here 12 and 6 are 18. So oxygen is balanced here. Now we will see carbon. So carbon is 6 here and carbon is 6 here. It is balanced. Now we will see hydrogen. Hydrogen is 6 2s are 12. 12 here. And now here is also 12. So this equation is balanced equation. So balanced and unbalanced equations are nothing but, balanced means both the values are equal, and unbalanced means some are greater, some are smaller, lesser. So this is balanced and unbalanced. Now if we have already learned about balanced and unbalanced, so balanced equations are, we are not going to read them out. Now we will learn how to balance the unbalanced equation. Means this equation is unbalanced because oxygen is 2 here and oxygen is 1 here. So this is unbalanced. So if we have an unbalanced equation, so how to balance it? How to make it balanced equation? So unbalanced to balanced equation, now we will learn this one. Our next topic is based on the same, balancing chemical equation. Now we are given the unbalanced equation and we have to balance it. So this is the given equation, H2 plus O2 gives H2O. So this arrow sign means when they are reacting each other, then the product is formed. So this sign shows that this is the product, this is the product. It is showing the arrow towards this side. So this is the product, because reactants, they are reacting, and products, it is ready. So this is what equation is given to us, and we have to balance it. So firstly we have to see how many number of elements are present in the both side, means LHS and RHS. So we have to firstly write down how many number of objects or substances are given. So hydrogen, how many hydrogen are present here in the LHS and in the RHS. So in the LHS hydrogen are 2 and in the RHS hydrogen are 2. Now oxygen, in the LHS oxygen is 2 and in the RHS oxygen is 1. So this is an unbalanced equation and we have to balance it. So how to balance a chemical equation? Let us learn this. So hydrogen is given balance and we have to balance the oxygen. So we can't just copy the same here, because if we write 2 here and we say that this is balanced, so this is not balanced because this is a different element, this is a different product, because H2O2 means hydrogen peroxide, so it is different from water. So you are not able to drink water in this condition, so but water is necessary for us. So how to make water balanced? So we will not write this 2 here. Every time when we are balancing the chemical equation, we have to write all of the numbers, all of the arithmetic progressions, right? We have to write here, or any number we have to write in the front, in the prefix. So here are the two objects and here they are combining together. So we can't write down between these two objects, because here is the plus sign, means this is adding. So we can write here or here. We can write it down here or we can write it down here, any number. So we cannot write down here because these both are multiplying each other. So you have also seen an example in your mathematics. So a plus b, and here is a into b. So a into b means this one, and here suppose that any number is given and a into b. So we can't write down here because when they are combining together they are forming this one. So we can also write a into b as ab. So this, what is the condition? Same here. So we can't write any number between them. We will always write in the prefix. Always in the prefix of these numbers. So because this is a compound, we can't write down between. So these are some rules for writing how to balance the chemical equation. So now we are going to balance this chemical equation. So hydrogen is balanced 2 and 2, but oxygen is not balanced. So we have to balance oxygen here. Now we will just add 2 here. So 2 we will write down in the prefix. So how many oxygen are here? They are 2. But hydrogen is doubled now because 2 2 into 2, that is 4. So one more problem is here. Then what we will do that we will add 2 also here. Now 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, and oxygen are 2 and oxygen are 2. So this one is the method how to balance the chemical equation. So now all of the elements hydrogen and oxygen are balanced. So we will write down the how to balance the chemical equation. The number we will write in the prefix, and if we need to add something, so we will add here and here, but always in the prefix, not in the suffix, not after them but before them. So this is the simplest one. Now we will move to tough. Here is the second one. Magnesium plus oxygen is magnesium oxide. Here is the third example of this one. So magnesium is 1 here and magnesium is 1. Now oxygen is 2 here and oxygen is 1 here. So we have to balance it. Magnesium is balanced but oxygen is not balanced. So here is 2 and here is 1. So we will write here 2. Now oxygen is balanced. 2 here and 2 here. But magnesium is also doubled. Now magnesium is 2 here and now magnesium is 1 here. So we will add 2 here. So it is also balanced. Now magnesium is also 2 and oxygen is also 2. You can also use the method of making boxes around them. You can make boxes around them and don't write any number inside these boxes. Every time you have to write the number outside these boxes. At this process, you can easily separate out what are the symbols and what are the symbols for compounds. So this is an easy one. If you are not confusing at all, then you can use this method without any boxes. So now let us see another example. Iron plus water gives iron oxide plus hydrogen. So this is an unbalanced equation. So now let us balance it. So iron is 1 here and iron are 3 here. So we have to firstly balance the iron, because here are the more in the LHS or in the RHS, means in the reactant side or in the product side. In whatever side the greater number is given, in the opposite side we have to add the number. So we will write 3 here in the suffix. So 3. Now 3Fe are here. Now we have oxygen 4 here and we have oxygen here only 1. So we have to balance oxygen also. So here we can write as 4. And we have to write the shortest number as we do in the prime factorization. The number is divided by the smallest number. So the same process is followed by here. We have to add this shortest number in the suffix. Now hydrogen are 4 to the 8 here. Now hydrogen is 2 here only. So how many, if we have to add the 8 here, how many we have to add? Means from what number we have to multiply by 2, that is 4. So now if we have a look, 3 iron, now oxygen is 4 here, hydrogen are 8 here and hydrogen are 8 here. So this is the balanced chemical equation. Remember that we have to write the shortest number. Remember that here this is an, you can also make boxes here. You can use box method also. So these are the 4 compounds which are different from each other. So we cannot write 4 here, because here is the addition symbol. So if we have any addition symbol in between the equations, then we will write after the addition symbol. So this is the formula. We cannot write this here one, but we can write here. This is the addition symbol and these both are different. One is element and one is compound. So we can write it down here. So this is the method. Here are the two examples. Carbon dioxide plus hydrogen gives CH3OH. So now we have to balance this equation. So how we can, so carbon is 1 here, carbon is 1 here, carbon is balanced. Now oxygen is 2 here and oxygen is 1 here. So firstly we have to balance this oxygen, and now how we can balance this oxygen? By adding 2 in the suffix. So here oxygen is 2, but now there is one more problem. What? That carbon is 2 here now, because this 2 is multiplying everywhere. So 2 is here also. So now carbon is 2. So we have to add 2 here. Okay. Now oxygen became 4. So this is a typical this is a typical equation. So I think this is wrong one. This is only CO here. So now oxygen is 1 here, oxygen is 1 here, carbon is 1 here, carbon is 1, hydrogen is 2 here, and hydrogen here is 3 and here is 1. So 3 and 1 is 4. So there are 4 hydrogen in this side, and here there are only 2. So now we will add 2 in the suffix. Now 2 2s are 4 and here also 4. So this equation is balanced. So now we have the another one. Now carbon is 1 here and carbon is 1 here. Now hydrogen is 4 here. Hydrogen is 2 here. So we have to make it 4. So we will add 2 in the suffix. Now what happened? This 2 is multiplying. So it become 4, and this 2 is also in the suffix, in the subscription of O. So now we will check out. Oxygen is 2 here, and now oxygen is 2 and 2, that are 4. So we will add here 2. 2 2s are 4, and here also 2 and plus 2, they are 4. Plus heat energy. There is no formula for heat energy, and the reaction in which heat energy is involving means in the product side it is required heat. Heat is required to make the chemical reaction. So that process is known as endothermic reaction, and the process in which heat is just releasing. In the process where heat is releasing, then it is known as exothermic reaction. Endo means taking in and exo means out. So heat is releasing, that is known as exothermic, and heat is taking part in that reaction, then it is known as endothermic reaction. Now we will move to one of the longest equation till here. So this is carbon is 1 here and carbon is 6 here. So now we have to balance it. So carbon is 6 here. Better you have to write down the longest one first. So which substance is present in the larger amount? Firstly, I will suggest you should write or balance that one first. So here what you are seeing, which is the highest number, that is 12. So now firstly we will balance this hydrogen here. So hydrogen is 12 here and hydrogen are 2 here. So what we will do? So we will multiply by 6. Now 6 2s are 12 and hydrogen is balanced. Now second number is oxygen. This is 6 and 2. They are 8. And now here oxygen is 2 and here here 6 and here 2. So 2 and 6 yes 2 and 6 is 8. So oxygen is balanced. Now carbon is 6 here. What will happen now? Here carbon is only 1. So we have to add this 6 here also to make carbon equal. But now here one thing is mistaken. 6 2s are 12 and this 6. So 12 and 6 are 18. Now oxygen are 18 here and here oxygen are only 8. So how to make 18? So because everything is balanced instead of oxygen. So we will write down here, because if we add something in the suffix of this, then these numbers will multiply with that given number. So we have to take the smallest number, so we will add here in the after the addition symbol. So now we have 8 oxygen here, and here oxygen are 18. So how to make 8 to 18? So we will add something here to make something. So 6. We will add 6 here. Now 6 2s are 12, and 12 plus 6, that are 18. So this equation is balanced. And this equation is also endothermic reaction, because heat is required for this process. This process is making of food, making of glucose from the raw materials that are carbon dioxide and water, which plant use to make their own food, and heat is required, sunlight is required for this process. So this is endothermic. But the respiration process is just opposite. This part comes in the LHS and this part comes in RHS. So this is totally different, and their heat is releasing, so that is exothermic. So now we have the second one, hydrogen plus chlorine, hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride. So now here both elements are 2, hydrogen is 2, here hydrogen is 1. So we will write 2 here. Now chlorine is also 2 here, and here also 2. So this equation is balanced. Now the third one, Na means sodium. Sodium is 1 here and sodium is 1 here. No problem. Now hydrogen are 2 here and hydrogen are 2 and here 2. So 2 and 2 4. So we have to balance here 1. So we will write 2 here. Now this hydrogen is 4 and oxygen is 2. And oxygen is 2 here, because this 2 is multiplying on the both oxygen and hydrogen. So this is the method for balancing the chemical equations. So here are the types of chemical reactions. So first is combination reaction. The two elements are combined, as the name is suggesting, combination. Now decomposition. The compounds which are combined, they are decomposed. So they are known as decomposition reaction. Displacement means changing one side from another, and double displacement means one is moved to here and one is moved to here. So oxidation and reduction. So these are the 5 types of chemical reactions, and if we just separate out them, then these are 6 types of chemical reactions. So let us discuss them one by one in detail. First one is combination reaction. 2 or more substances combine to form single substance. You can also remember, you need not to learn this such a long definition, but though it is very easy, but you can also memorize it from a formula. 2 or more substances means A plus B plus C or anyone. Mainly there are 2 compounds, but they are more, can be more. So you can also write that A plus B gives a single substance. Then single substances form, that is C. So this is the formula. You can also write it down. A plus B combined, A and B combined together to form C. Means 2 or more substances. They are 2 or more substances combined to form a single substance. Single substance is formed. So for example, carbon plus oxygen, carbon dioxide. Sodium plus chlorine, now sodium chloride. Remember that always when you are going to write any of the chemical equation, the chemical equation must be balanced. It must be balanced. Okay, that is the standard formula or standard method for writing the chemical equation. So always write the chemical equation in the balanced form. Iron plus sulfur, iron sulfide. Now this is NH3 means methane plus hydrochloric acid, that is this is ammonia, and this is formed ammonium chloride. So these were some examples, means combination 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, that gives 3. 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, that gives 3. 1 plus 2 plus, that gives 3. So this is the combination reaction, means two substances combine together to form one substance. That's very easy. A plus B gives C. Next is decomposition reaction. So compounds, it splits into two or more simpler substances. So this is just reverse of that combination reaction. So it is this A is the substance, it splits down into B plus C or whatever substances are there. So this is just opposite to that composition reaction. So examples are 2KClO3 means potassium chlorate, and when this delta sign is you can see this delta sign, this is representing heat. When it is undergoes the heat, then potassium chloride plus oxygen is evolved here, evolution of gas. You can also change in color. If there are many changes you can observe, characteristics you can observe here. So ferrous sulfate is decomposing into, when heat is there, then it is decomposing into ferrous oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. So now here are three substances, means A plus B plus C, B plus C plus D. So here are three substances. Now PbNO3, lead nitrate, then this is 2PbO, this is lead oxide, and NO2, nitrogen dioxide, and plus oxygen. This oxygen is evolving here, means evolution of gas. Now AgBr, silver bromide, when decomposes into the sunlight, then it decomposes into Ag means silver and bromine. Now this is the example for this is the electrolysis decomposition reaction. This is aluminium oxide, and in which electricity is passed through it, then it decomposes into aluminium and oxygen. Oxygen is evolving here. So you can also understand this from an example of water. Water has the chemical reaction such as the H2 plus O2 gives H2O. Then if we just reverse it, means H2O when undergoes electricity, then it is decomposed into H2 plus O2. So both are gases. So this is the, and changes state also take place because aluminium oxide is solid here, and oxygen is the gas here. So change in color will also take place in this reaction. Lead nitrate is colorless, but lead oxide or lead monoxide is yellow in color. So you can observe various characteristics of these chemical reactions. Now we will move to third one. So now displacement reaction. One element takes place of another one. So one element takes place another one. Means if we have three seats in front of us, and each one on each seat one student is sitting on them, then two of these students change their place. So this what is the displacement reaction. Displacing of substances or elements takes place in this reaction. Now for examples, CuSO4. copper sulfate which is blue in color, and zinc which is silvery white, and it forms ZnSO4, means zinc is displacing copper. So to understand this displacement and double displacement reactions, you have to learn the reactivity series, which I am going to give in the next topic. So more reactive elements just displace the less reactive elements. So this what is the basic concept for displacement reaction. So zinc is more reactive than copper, so that's why it changes place, and ZnSO4 plus Cu. Now CuSO4 plus Mg means copper sulfate plus magnesium. So magnesium takes place of copper, so that is why magnesium sulfate plus copper. Now copper chloride plus lead, then lead chloride plus copper. So same thing is happening every time. Now here the balancing is different from others. 2AgNO3 and Cu gives CuNO3 whole twice and Ag 2Ag. So here the balancing is different from other ones, because this 2 is here and 2 is silver is 2, nitrogen is 2, and oxygen is 3 2s are 6. Oxygen are 6. So here if we take if 2 silver is removed from here, so what happened? This 2 is you can also write in the subscription, so that you could be clearly understanding what is happening in this type of balancing. So this silver is removed from here. Now 2 is everywhere, that is why 2 is here also and 2 is here also. That is why if we have same values and we take out something as common, so here also we can take 2 as common, and that is why whole the bracket and we write 2 in the subscript. Now copper is displacing, that is why, otherwise there is no need for changing, because copper is displacing the silver, that is why we have to write this whole square whole and whole twice. So 2Ag is same here. Now chlorine plus Ki means potassium iodide. So potassium chloride plus iodine. So more reactive elements displaces the less reactive elements. This is the simpler ones. If two elements or two metals are given, then one metal is written in the place of another. This is the simple one. But double displacement is just double, because here this one is also here, this is also reacting from that SO4, and here also some reactions are taking place. So now we will move to displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction is the reaction in which two compounds react by exchange of ions to form two new compounds. Means double displacement is taking place in this. For this process you have to learn this reactivity series, which have 15 elements. So first is potassium, which is very highly reactive, and Pt means platinum, which is least reactive element. So potassium, then sodium, then calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, then tin, lead and hydrogen, copper, silver, gold and platinum. So these are the 15 elements. You have to learn this reactivity series, or you can write down, and this is needed in these types of chemical reactions. So AgNO3 plus NaCl. So AgNO3 that is silver nitrate plus sodium chloride. So this double displacement will take place. last time here, if we take an example, then this Na was just alone, but now here chlorine is also with it. So double displacement will take place. If Na is going there, then Ag is coming here. So this is the process. So AgCl, that I have told, Ag will come here in the place of it, because Ag, that is silver, least reactive, and sodium very high reactive. So high reactive element just displaces the least reactive elements, because higher ones have more power and least ones have less power. That is why the higher reactivity series in this series, which element have the higher reactivities, then it will displace the least reactive element. So it will form AgCl plus NaNO3. So these are the examples of the double displacement reaction. So BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. Here also Na2 means sodium is decomposing the barium, but Ba is not here. So don't worry, it will decompose, it will displace the Ba, means barium, and now it is BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. So this what takes place in this. Now let us see this one. So PbNO3 whole twice plus 2Ki. So this one is the, let us see, where is Pb? So Pb is not here, it is not present here. So K, so Pb is here, yes, it is here, and K means potassium is here. So potassium is more reactive than lead, so that is why it will displace lead and it will take place PbI2 plus 2KNO3. So these are the examples of double displacement. So double displacement reaction is very easy if you can learn this reactivity series then. So now let us move to our last topic of this chapter, that is reduction and oxidation. Next is oxidation and reduction, which are together called redox reaction. So oxidation is adding of oxygen and removing hydrogen, and reduction means removing oxygen and adding. It is not removing, it's adding. Adding hydrogen. You can just learn one word. Oxidation means adding oxygen, that is why oxidation, and reduction means removing, so removing oxygen. And it is the another example of oxidation means removing hydrogen, or reduction means adding hydrogen. So this is the these are the two definitions which you can write, any one of you, your choice. So examples are 2Cu plus O, when heated together then gives 2CuO. Now copper and oxygen are combined together to form copper oxide. So this is the adding of oxygen, means oxygen is added to copper. So what is this reaction adding of oxygen? That is oxidation reaction. So this is oxidation. Now CuO plus H2, now when heated then it displaces. Now Cu is left alone and H2O, that is water. So what happens? This CuO is removed, this O oxygen is removed, means removing, that is why this is Cu, means copper is the reduction, or the reduction process is taking place, and hydrogen is adding with oxygen, that is why this is oxidation takes place. So these are also known as agents, oxidizing agent and reducting agents. So ZnO means oxygen is now removed from Zn means zinc, and carbon is added with oxygen to form carbon monoxide. So that is why CuO, that is carbon monoxide, is oxidizing, and Zn means zinc is reducting. So now MnO2, and now here MnCl2. So this is the double displacement reaction, and here chlorine is also gas, which is evolution of gases taking places. So Mn2O2, because O is here and now here chlorine is here, so that is why magnesium is reducting here, and HCl is removed by H, means oxygen is added to hydrogen, that is why this is water, and chlorine is left alone, which is evoluted or evolution of gases taking place here. So these are the oxidation and reducting agents. Oxidation agents are the agents which are adding which are oxidizing, and reducting agents means which are reducting the which are reducting the in the equation. So now we will learn what are these oxidizing and reduction. Uh, can we see all these reactions at our daily life? So let us discuss about that. So mainly we can see two examples, corrosion and rancidity. So firstly corrosion. Corrosion is the eating away of metal, any metal, when it is exposed to air, moisture or atmosphere. So that is called corrosion. For example, if you have any copper vessel or any copper statue at your home, then it is left uncovered, then you can see some green precipitates are forming on it. So this is the corrosion process. So copper is corroded, but corrosion takes place on the surface of the metal, but inside which is the original metal, that metal is totally safe. The metal, the corrosive protective layer acts as the protective layer, and due to which the further exploration of copper will not take place. But this is not with the process of iron, because iron is the metal which is when corroded, and which is eaten up by this corrosion, or that is known as rusting of iron. So rusting is the process in which the iron metal is totally destroyed, totally eaten away by that corrosion or that rusting. So we cannot find that pure metal inside safe. But in other metals, the original metal remains safe, and the corrosive layer acts as protective layer. But this is not with the case of iron. Now rancidity. Rancidity is the condition when we just take out any food and leave it in the atmosphere, then rancidity takes place. It reacts with the atmospheric oxygen. And you have also heard of don't put your food in the open, or don't eat roadside food. Why? Because they are uncovered and bacteria and viruses can attach to them, but that is the biological. But in chemistry, the oxygen can react with the food, the oily food and fatty foods. So that is why rancidity is formation. So you have seen the packets which are filled with nitrogen. So filling packets with nitrogen can reduce this rancidity, and when this rancidity will reduce, then food can be stored for many days without the external oxygen cannot seal that food. Because when rancidity takes place, then bad smell, foul smell comes from the food, and change in color also happens. So rancidity can be removed, rancidity can be reduced by using nitrogen packets, nitrogen filled packets, and we can keep the food in that packets, or we can use refrigerators which you have seen in the daily lives. It can be reduced by adding antioxidants to it. Some preservatives are also there, such as you are preserving mangoes in the form of pickle. So rancidity can be reduced by adding some antioxidants to preserve the food, and for long time we can use that for very long time. So rancidity can also be removed or reduced by keeping the food in airtight containers, because the atmospheric oxygen cannot react with that food, and that food uh, cannot be explored or rancid. So these are the measures which we can take to remove the rancidity, to reduce the process of rancidity. So here we have completed our chapter. Hope you liked this video, hope you learned from this. So thanks for watching.